happy birthday to Prince George. Hi, welcome to Heirs and Spares. I'm Kinsey Schofield. This is the show where we dissect some of our favorite royal couples, Prince William, Catherine, the Princess of Wales, and well, then there's the other one, Harry and Meghan. Today, I am joined by my co-host, royal author, Hugo Vickers. Hugo, what a pleasure it is to have you co-hosting Heirs and Spares with me. It's finally here. The time has finally come. I'm so glad to have you.
It's very exciting. Thank you for having me along.
Well, you are one of my favorite authors and experts, so there's no one else I wanted to discuss this story with. I find this fascinating. The idea that Prince William and Catherine, the Princess of Wales, could break this 30-year-old royal rule for Prince George. The idea that the royal family can't travel together and that once they reach a certain age, which according to this article, and Graham Laurie, who used to fly the Prince and Princess of Wales when it was Prince Charles and Princess Diana, he says that once Prince William hit the age of 12, he started flying separately. And the reports are suggesting that William and Catherine have talked to their team and they don't see the value in that. They want to shake things up. What are your sources saying? Are you hearing something familiar? And if not, what's your reaction to that?
Well, my reaction is they need to be very careful. And it has been a kind of a rule for ages. I mean, I think when the Queen and Prince Philip went to Australia, Prince Charles travelled separately all those years ago. And of course, the reason is that, you don't want, if anything can go wrong, and it can go wrong with a plane, that you don't want to lose the entire family. And in this case, of course, it's even more of a worry because guess who's next in line?
No! The spare.
Yes, so I think probably it won't happen. I think they have to be careful. I know that technology is so much better now and that there's probably, you could say there's more danger crossing a street than flying in an aeroplane. But even so, I think it's a pretty good rule. It was put in for a good reason.
So this source says that perhaps they might just ask the king for his permission for certain occasions, whether or not it's okay. Is that how it works, where Prince William would have to call up his father and say, do you mind?
Yes, I think that is how it works. And of course, the thing is that, of course, the other problem is that now they're also conscious about expenditure, that they very often fly on commercial flights. They could even go on like almost EasyJet or something. And therefore, without wishing to be disparaging, there's even more danger, you could say, than obviously if you're flying in one of the royal planes, the BA-146 or something like that. So it's a problem. I think they need to fly separately, to be honest.
Well, I think your opinion is very valued here, so I understand exactly what you're saying. Do you remember the reports? Maybe it was last year or the year before. No. Oh my gosh, I can't believe how long the Queen has been gone. But do you remember the reports that Queen Elizabeth was nervous about Prince William flying the family? She wanted him to take a step back and perhaps, can you expand on that a little bit?
He was doing, rescuing things. And of course, helicopters are even more dangerous than planes, because if something goes wrong with a helicopter, you've absolutely had it. I mean, a plane can very often land, but if the blades come off or something, the helicopter just comes down. So that's very dangerous. And that's always been the problem for the heir to the throne, that he has been sort of more protected than others. I mean, why, like Prince Andrew was able to go to the Falklands and Prince Charles would not have been allowed to do that because it would have been too dangerous. And too dangerous for two reasons. One, that, something could accidentally happen. He could just be picked off by mistake. Or secondly, he could be taken hostage, in which case he's a very valuable property. And that causes more trouble than it's worth. That's always been the problem for the royal family. They long to serve like everybody else, but sometimes it's counterproductive. It happened to the Duke of Windsor, happened to the present Duke of Kent. They're not allowed to be too close to the front line.
And when stories like this come out, how much of you wonders if it's a calculated campaign for us to see how much Prince William and Catherine just love their family and want to be around their family? I mean, do you think that this is a legitimate story that William and Catherine are saying, no, we don't want to fly separately? Or do you think sometimes we hear about things like this because they've done an excellent job of branding Catherine and William as family first, which I admire.
Yes,
I admire.
so
it's not a critique.
Yeah. No, I mean, I personally, am rather sceptical about all these stories, and I wonder whether somebody's just sitting down thinking, well, here's a good story and I can get that into the paper. Of course, they're very good parents. They're very hands-on, and I know Prince William has sometimes been criticised for not doing enough royal duties. There is plenty of time for him to do royal duties later. He's in a very difficult situation. His heir to the throne, the Prince of Wales, never knows when he's going to become king. If his father's ill, it becomes more pressing. His wife has been unwell as well. He's got a very young family. I know that they spend a lot of time going to school matches, being hands-on parents, and I'm all for it. And I think that also will pay dividends later in the way the children are brought up, because whenever we see the children, I mean, they're absolutely great, aren't they?
Oh, they are so precious, so well behaved, but just a side of cheeky. A side of cheeky that we can enjoy. I love Prince Louis. I mean, I say this every time. My services, free. Let me hang out with Prince Louis. I will babysit forever. Speaking of Prince George's birthday, around this time every year, this story starts to circulate about how Prince William and Catherine are going to make a different decision regarding his schooling. They're going to sway a bit from the upbringing Prince William had, King Charles had. Do you have an opinion there? Is this modernizing the monarchy? Is this more of that family first brand?
I think they will be doing what most parents do, and that is looking at a lot of schools, because schools change according to the headmaster. If you get a good headmaster, you get a good school. They'd be lucky to go to any of those schools these days, frankly. I'm not so sure they would have been lucky to do it 100 years ago, but they certainly would these days. They are very, very good, and they're like country clubs. The policy, and when I was at school, if you sneaked on somebody for bullying, you would have been a pariah for the rest of your life. Now, it is encouraged that people report bullying. So you can't change human behaviour, but you can change what's acceptable in human behaviour. So what I'm thinking they will be doing is going to look at the facilities of the different schools, at the accessibility, judging the headmaster and seeing what his concepts are, what he wants for them, and trying to find the best possible school for many reasons. At the moment, all three of them are together, and I think that's great, because I think that's very nice. I mean, I remember one headmaster saying he loves it when siblings are together, because they can talk about things, they can, kind of pool their information. Of course, Eton, which is where I was lucky to go to, is a very, very good school. It's always changing, it's always developing. I think, Prince George would be a natural for Eton, but Catherine went to Marlborough. That's another good school. She may well wish him to go there, and that, of course, would take girls, which I think Eton still doesn't quite. They might take Princess Charlotte. You never know.
Right.
They can break the rules for the royal children. They want to just give them the best education possible.
That's right. If I were Prince George, I would want to go to school with the girls. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend, and follow Hugo on social media, because 4,000 people have liked his Prince William picture this week. So you're in for a treat. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. I'm Kinsey Schofield.